it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast, and today is Tuesday, May the 21st. Had a brain fart, sorry. Just kind of lost it there for a minute. It's like, hello, what day is it? We were on the road yesterday, coming back from North Carolina, and we were stuck in traffic for about 45 minutes due to a car fire. So that kind of slowed us up a little bit, and normally when we go through West Berkeley Springs in West Virginia, or Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, it's smooth sailing, but they have taken out the light and have a temporary light that it took about 35 minutes to 40 minutes to get through there. Normally it's about 15 minutes, even with big traffic. So that was kind of interesting, kind of slowed us up. And got home last night. We were really tired, so what can you say? It is what it is. Had a good visit. While we were there, we found out that there was a bridal shower for our niece, which, we really had no idea. We didn't get an invitation. But we were told we were going because we were taking Grandma, which is my husband's mother. And let's just say it was an interesting visit for us, dealing with someone who is early Alzheimer's. When we first got there that first night, she couldn't find her debit card. She said that her other son had taken the card to get medications and hadn't returned it to her. And we know she has the beginning signs of Alzheimer's, so my husband had taken her wallet and said, showed her this one card. Is this your debit card? She said, no, that's my credit card. Well, we had no idea that she didn't have a credit card, that her other son had already canceled the credit card, so she didn't have a credit card. All she had was that debit card, but she insisted it was a credit card, that she couldn't find her debit card. She was frantic. So she has a lift chair, and we found out that she was sitting in the chair when the brother Jimmy had handed off the debit card to her. So we looked through there and looked through all the pockets, looked under it, looked under all the furniture. She said she might have left it in the pocket of the pants she was wearing that day, but she had already washed those pants. So we made sure we went to the hamper to see that it wasn't down in the hamper. We went to the washer and dryer, looked at the side of the dryer and washer, which is really a tight fit in the room that she has it in. Then she said, well, I might have lost it walking outside. So Jane goes outside, and she's walking the path, where she could have walked. I don't see anything. I come inside. She takes us back into the bedroom, and she's going through these things. And she goes, well, it's not going to be in here. And we're like, then why are we in here looking? It was in a chest that she has all kinds of stuff. She goes, I just wanted to show you this. So my husband and I determined that there was one last place it might be. And because she normally has a tissue or a paper towel next to her, that she might have thrown it away. So got a pair of gloves to go out and look through the trash. I'm doing that. My husband is still going through the house, re-looking through everything. Now, this might be too much information. But in this house, they left the septic tank hooked up when she got hooked up to city water. And the way that her septic tank has this one funny little pipe that curves out into the um, public sewer, we had suggested and asked that they change that. And she wasn't going to change that because at the time it was going to cost her $1,000 more. So for years you have not been able to flush paper products. You know then where this is going. So you have to, wrap it up, put it in the trash, send it off. Can't go down the toilet. So I'm out there looking, and thank goodness there was only one bag. Didn't have any of that in there. But her other son had already taken the trash out. I come in, and my husband said it was in her wallet the entire time. I said, we went through that wallet several times. He said, I know. She kept calling her credit card. He said, I pulled it out and started looking at it, and he said he could see where it says debit. But the gold had worn off of it. He goes, 2.5 hours. We've just been looking for this stupid thing, and it was in her wallet. So, yeah. And then we did the phone ritual every morning. She has 3 phones that are handsets, cordless. And one is in the bedroom where my husband and I sleep when we're there. One is in her living room and one is in her kitchen. But every morning she goes to make sure that they're all put in the, as she calls them, the rack, where they're supposed to be. And so she woke us up every morning to make sure it was in the rack. And it was a little bit trying, but we made it through. We did get to the bridal shower. We only had one incident that embarrassed us with Mama because of her Alzheimer's. Whenever Allison, my niece, would open up her presents, they would take and put them over on a table. Now, Allison was mad about this bridal shower because it wasn't supposed to be a bridal shower. The main thing they had asked for was money to help pay for their honeymoon. So people were bringing towels and, gifts and things like that. But she was upset because she didn't want a bridal shower to begin with. But before we left, my husband's mother had to go look through all the presents that were over on the table. She would open up the cards, and of course some of the cards had money in them. So she was counting the money. We're like, Mama, stop it. Get out of that. You don't need to be that nosy. So yeah, fun times with somebody that's going through Alzheimer's. I did get some Happy Mail. We'll go through that. Miss Mary from Mary's Chit Chat sent me a beautiful card with some stitch markers. I don't know if I can get it out of the envelope now. I put it back in there because I didn't want it to go and get lost. And this is the card. Really pretty. Nice little personal message. And Mary, all of these stitch markers made it just fine. With the exception of one. But look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous butterfly? Let's see if we can get it to focus. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus. And the triqueta. Beautiful cross. And then another beautiful, and I'm trying to think of what the meaning of this one is, and for the life of me, It's skipping my brain. Maybe it's because I've dealt with Alzheimer's all weekend. She also sent a cute little skull, but unfortunately the metal part here broke off during the mailing, but that's okay because I have plans for this. I'm actually going to do some embroidery on a bag that I was wanting this to try out, and I am going to set that in there with some special glues, so it'll be fine. It'll be lovely. And then, of course, you know, we got the knit crate. It's very beautiful, although it's not as vibrant as I thought it would be, but I guess it'll work. And of course, they sent the normal stitch marker and the ladybug buttons, and of course the booklet as usual. They had on their preview for next month, they also talked about that they are looking at changing up some things, giving you some color options, I think, so that you can specify maybe some colors that you would like in the next box. I don't know, they didn't go expand into it, but you know, they said they'll announce more about that in June. They did reveal the next month's knit crate, real pretty purple, and I want to say it's like it's orange, but it's not a real bright orange. It kind of reminded me of cantaloupe. Is what it reminded me of. But next month's looks like it's gonna be pretty yarn. And I did get my Jimmy beans. Now I'm a little perturbed. This box cost $15 because once again you got the sugar bush, but you did not get a full skein of it. Now a full skein of this cotton is about $12. And then they sent, I'm assuming these are sticky note tabs, and some lotion, and of course the pattern. But it didn't even come close to the value. I understood there were going to be 2 balls of yarn with this one, but apparently I was wrong. So it is what it is. I did get this second sweater finished. As I told you, this is the one where you did the front separate, the sleeve separate, the back separate. They actually wanted you to do the collar separate and then you sew it all together. I went ahead and did everything with the exception of the collar. The collar I just cast on after I got it all sewn together and proceeded to knit it on. I am not going to knit a separate collar and sew a separate collar on. I didn't really like in doing this, but that was the pattern that the person had that wanted it. She has gotten to a point where she has trouble reading the pattern, being able to understand what's going on with the pattern. She had the first one that I finished for her. It was for a great grandbaby that was just born last month. This one she has another one that is coming in September. She likes to make them larger because these are a size 4, as in 4T sweaters. So she likes to make them larger and not do newborn sweaters because so many of the girls, her daughters, her great granddaughters, their friends make them make them buy sweaters and all that kind of stuff for them. So she wanted something that was for her when they got a little older. So I did that. And this was it's a Mary Maxim yarn, but I don't know the name of it. And it's either a chunky or a bulky because it's pretty large yarn. Fantastic to work with. Just glides right through. Beautiful to work with. Like I said, I don't know the name of it, but I'm pretty sure it was one of Mary Maxim's yarn. Or it may be a marble yarn. I think James C. Brett has a marble yarn. But, yeah, it was great to work with. The only other thing that I have going on is I have started a corner to corner with some of the Icelandic yarn that I have. I already had a buttload of that Icelandic yarn. And in the last swap, Wanda sent me a buttload more. So I decided I'm going to make some, a large corner to corner for prayer shawl. We do need some lap robes, some, blankets like that because they have added another nursing home. So we'll need something for the men. The men don't care about shawls, but they like the little lap robes, those kind of things. So that's what we'll make for them. That was about it for, what I was working on since last week. I had planned on pre-filming some videos. Didn't get that done. Just because of everything that was going on. And, just time got away from me, so I didn't get that done. But I'm back. Things are a little crazy still. I have a lot to catch up on. A couple more physical therapy treatments to do. And then I should graduate pretty soon. It just all depends on how many, as she calls it, how many Rice Krispies they find when they do the massage of my arm. She said that's kind of what it feels like, for physical therapists, is like Rice Krispies under there when they're massaging it. And I tell you, she has a way of finding that spot. It's like her fingers are honed in. She's like, right there. Of course, when they were first doing the massage, I was almost in tears because it hurt so much when they were doing it. Now, it doesn't hurt. It feels good when they're doing it. So, I figure it needs a little more work on it. It's been a little tender. I don't know if that's because I overworked it this weekend. I'm crocheting with his hand now. Knitted that sweater. I started it when we got in Thursday night and was finished with it yesterday. Well, the day before I was finished with it, with the exception of sewing the buttons on because it didn't have enough buttons. So I had to run out and find some buttons. But yeah, I think I may have pushed it a little too far this weekend. But a lot of that was dealing with some of that stress. It's not easy dealing with someone in the beginning stages or in full stages of Alzheimer's. My husband he would argue with his mom about things, and I would tell him that just doesn't work with someone with Alzheimer's. You just need to change the subject, move on. He finally got that this weekend. So he would change the subject to something when she'd start, OCDing on one thing. So, sorry about that. It's the allergies going from one pollen to another pollen. So, that's it for today. It's going to be short and sweet, and I will see you again later this week. I do have something else that I was going to film. And hopefully I can get to it Thursday, get it out Thursday. But we've reached 1,000 subscribers. So now I'm looking at some things for a giveaway. But that will be coming up soon. It's not going to be in today's podcast. I will do that in another. And I will show you some of the items and talk you through them. And, we'll go through the rules of it. Got rules now. So I'll see you again soon. And remember, kindness goes a long way. Choose kindness, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.